Hey guys, it's Drek and I am bored. Now, when I get bored, I tend to take on just absolutely ridiculous projects. Now, this is a barrel brake. This is a barrel brake that is in terrible shape. And luckily for me, I did not make this barrel brake. Bobololo, when I met up with him in Atlanta at one point to do some exchanges, I had the mini Drac with me and I was just running errands, and I dropped by and saw Bobo, and Bobo pulled this out of his crazy van. And Bobo was like, "Here, Mini Drac, you can have this." Well, this is a really bad blaster. I'm sorry, Bobo, but you know it's true. This thing is terrible. It doesn't catch, ever. I've tried making it catch, and it just doesn't catch, and it's really not worth fooling with. It was, I guess, a two-shot pistol that had been sort of minimized by Bobo, but it is a barrel brake. Now, I was sitting here just kind of being bored and tinkering with some other things when I realized that the barrel brake has a almost flawless pistol grip. And people have mentioned in the past, and I like the idea myself, of making a gun blade. So, this is one of my Goodwill night finders that I got for 50 cents. No real loss there. And this is the barrel brake that, again, I'm just not worried about losing because it's terrible. So, since this isn't working and this is in bad shape, I figured what better time to try and make a gun blade. I'm going to take as much of the night finder as I can, round it down, meld it into the barrel brake's grip, which means cutting off the grip, taking out the lights, and try and figure out some way to make a Nerf War safe gun blade that's actually usable. I don't think anybody's ever made a usable Nerf gun blade before, so I'm going to try it. And worst case scenario, if the project's an absolute failure, I'll show you how it turned out anyway and that it no longer works. So without further ado, I'm going to start breaking down these blasters, and I want to make a special point of saying that normally when I break down blasters, I break them down by butterflying them open, taking out the screws carefully, and isolating the internals. This time I'm going to break them down with a sledgehammer, because this is going to be ghetto modding at its finest. Okay, so after sort of cleaning up the pieces, this is what I have left. I have left the barrel brakes handle. It looks sort of like this. This is the part that I wanted most from the barrel brake. I've decided to keep its trigger because I kind of like the trigger well here, but I had to cut down the trigger on its sides. It used to be much wider, but this is the size it is now, so that it can hopefully fit up into this groove where I can get it to tap the night finder catch, because I've kept the majority of the night finder intact and I still need to coupler onto that front. The only other thing worth mentioning is that I've saved the night finder's handle because although it's useless to me, Nerfomania actually likes handles a lot, so I think I'll save that for him. Alright guys, so you can see here that this is how I've done the integration for the gun blade's handle. It's got the grip that I really like, as well as the night finder's plunger tube, which is important because it'll house this. I've seated the coupler in a different way. It's still setting, but it's JB welded, not epoxied this time, and it's seated further inside the plunger tube so that hopefully it will be less of an obstruction when I've already widened this hole just a bit so that seat's on this side. But you can tell that it'll be easy to do a draw extension now because of the way that I've seated the coupler. I've also cut down the trigger, and now it's time to start painting them. As you can tell, the integration and both sides of the blasters have been sanded and prepped for painting, so I will start that now. Alright, so you guys can see here that for the gun blade, which has had its layers of paint applied, I have sanded down the trigger so that it has a very specific size and shape that it fits into the night finder's catch. Even though it's pulling down, it can pop the catch up so that this is functional. I found a new type of barrel material that fits in CPVC, but it's a little bit of a looser fit. I'm not sure if I'm going to use it or not. Now all I have to do is go carve down this sword and turn it into a custom barrel, and I should be very close to having the first completed gun blade. I'll show you the finished product next. Alright, so you guys can see here that the integration was a complete success on the gun blade's handle, and then even though I spent so much time on this really nice paint job, which is Fanger Red, trigger, night finder, plunger, and then the rail attachment, not that you can tell, I went over it with black craft foam and coated the entire thing with black craft foam. Now that makes it look absolutely hideous, but it makes it safe to throw, which is my favorite thing to do with swords, and why this is a cool project. It is a gun blade. You can throw it and shoot it. Now, if ever you needed a proof of concept for barrel drag being real, I will show you that this is with a regular barrel of, I don't know, that's probably a 4.5, 5-inch barrel. This Night Finder with a slight draw extension shoots a solid 70 feet. It's a very nice Night Finder. Now, with the gun blade barrel attachment on it, which has been coated at the top and protected at the bottom by obviously being in the coupler, you can see that the ranges will not be quite as nice. You can almost hear it. Now, it is a really cool concept, and I'm going to chalk this one up as a 1.0 so that when I make a 2.0, it'll hopefully be better and I can eliminate that barrel drag. Maybe I'll use a Marauder for the blade. But the Shadow Fury blade looks cool. The barrel brake style fencing grip with a comfortable trigger pull is just awesome. I did everything that I'd really planned to do with this project except get really great ranges out of it. And they can't all be gems, but with the sword attachment barrel on it, it shoots about 40 feet, which makes it the first legitimate gun blade, not just a pistol with a barrel attached to it or something to that effect in the Nerf community. It is a Nerf sword with a projection system exiting through the blade. So I believe that makes it a very interesting, very unique, and somewhat weird project, but it was a ton of fun to make. It looks cool, and I'm pleased with how it turned out. I'll probably do a more professional version of foam coating than just throwing craft foam on in segments on the 2.0, and I look forward to that mod eventually. Thanks for watching, guys.